All right, morning everyone. Welcome to another episode of Market Trading. I'm your host, Vays. The markets are already open. Started the show a little bit late. Let's go and take a look at the charts and see what is going on. The view behind me is the upcoming financial summit on November 5 to 10 in the UAE. Check it out if you want to meet a bunch of traders and money managers. We're going straight to the Bitcoin daily chart, even though the stock market is what I really want to see, but I'll wait a few minutes. Come on, Zoom, let's go. There it is. Okay, so what happened yesterday? Yesterday, we did dip on FOMC day, a little bit non-statistical. Usually this day leads to bullishness in the market historically. Yesterday did not lead to a lot of bullishness. I mean, it's not going to work out every single time. But not much damage has been done. The candle is not out of the ordinary. It is the biggest red candle we've had since the end of the drop on March 9th. Today is March 22nd. Not that big a deal. So let's see how today plays out. If today is another green bullish candle, then all systems are still a go. We do not have a green star candle. The bullish trade has not been activated. It would have activated had we closed above the candle on Tuesday. If Wednesday's candle had closed above Tuesday's candle, we would have had that green star indicating that the bullish trend is with us. That didn't happen. We're going to reset the count of the MRI, which is not that bad. And this will be an extended consolidation, which is also good. The MRI tops generally call for a 1 to 4 candle correction. And this might have been it within 3 candles if you include the MRI candle itself, because it was red as a correcting candle. We have a 1 to 4 candle correction that is very likely over. We do have 2 more days before the week is up. I would say that if we don't break this low this week going into the weekend, then we have a very high probability that next week we're going to break out higher. Basically what I'm saying is if this MRI top is going to call for more significant downside all the way to 25,000 or lower, then it should indicate this before going into the weekend. So as long as we're above 27,000, ideally above 27.5 going into the weekend, I would be somewhat bullish through the weekend and into next week. That was the daily chart. Usually I go the other way. Now let's take a look at our 4-day allocation chart. Let's see if there's any reason to lower our 100% allocation, and there really is not. The short-term moving average has not even turned down yet, so this is not much of a concern. The real concern becomes whenever the short-term moving average starts to cross the intermediate-term moving average, and we're not there yet. We still have 2 days in current candle, so not much to be concerned in our 100% allocation. The weekly chart is going to close, well, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. The weekly chart is potentially going to close with a full candle above the moving average. That is what is needed. Only when an entire candle, including its shadows, closes above or below a moving average can you consider that moving average completely broken. Right here, we had a body of a candle. This is the week of March 28th. We had a doji candle. The body of a candle was above both moving averages. But the shadow of that candle to the downside actually broke both moving averages. This is not the kind of candle that would instill confidence that the moving averages have been broken. Even over here, you have a candle that went back and crossed. Well, sorry, this is different, right? This candle here. Let's go to the candle week of August 9th. Even this candle did not fully close above the entire moving average. Now, the body of the candle closes, which is 75% of the way there, but you need an entire candle above it, which happened on the following week. So this candle is likely to close above that 200-week moving average, including all of its shadows. That to me is important. That is a 100% signal that we have broken the moving average. Not a partial break of the moving average, but a full-on break of the moving average. And since a couple of friends asked me yesterday what my outlook is for the rest of the year, because they clearly stopped watching my videos, I'm going to show this chart one more time. This is my outlook for the rest of the year. I put this together in the very beginning of the year. I put this together at the end of January when I was doing a presentation, a virtual presentation for a conference in Dubai that I couldn't make. I cut back on travel this year, guys. 2022 was a rough year from a business perspective. So cutting back on travel unless the venue is paying for it. But I guess it's good because these videos have been very consistent at 9:30 in the morning. How many years have you been trading, Tone? I've been trading for 20 years. I am old. I'm giving away my age. I am coming up on a 20-year anniversary of when I learned technical analysis. I started learning after the dot-com crash, around the time I was graduating my university. I actually spent 7 years in universities, unreasonable amount of time. I started my career very late. I started traveling very late. I started doing a lot of shit very late in life. But I did start learning TA around 2002, 2003, 2004, really. And then I was already trading by 2005. At one point, I learned it all, including Elliott waves and so much. I didn't know as much as Tyler Jenks. I mean, the guy knew everything. He was there like when this shit was being invented somehow. But there's certain things I liked about TA, and there are certain TA tools I never liked. So this was my outlook for the rest of this year and most of next year into 2025. Yeah, so all of next year. So either I'm looking at a triple top around 60,000 this year, followed by a not so crazy $200,000 target at the end of this bull run sometime in 22, 24, 25. Or if we don't make it to 50,000 this year, if we don't even break 50K this year, then my target goes all the way to 300,000 a little bit later and a little more exponential towards the end of 2024. So either we make up for it on the back end or we make up for it on the front end. Either two tops, approximately 60K triple top, making the biggest inverse head and shoulders Bitcoin has ever seen. Bitcoin has never had a head and shoulders. And I don't even like head and shoulders, right? But I'm also a believer that things do not identically repeat year after year. So which type of pattern for a Bitcoin monster breakout for Bitcoin hype, for hyper Bitcoinization, as people like to call it, what kind of a major pattern has not yet been seen on a long-term chart of Bitcoin? And the one pattern that has never been seen is the inverse head and shoulders, a massive inverse head and shoulders, a 4-year in the making inverse head and shoulders. So I think that pattern is very, very likely now, where the 16,000 is the ultimate low and the 65,000 is the neck. So that would mean a $45,000 upswing at a minimum if you use absolute values. But if you use percentage terms, that becomes massive. Even if actually, yeah, let me think about that percentage term statement. May not be accurate. So at the least, you are looking at a $45,000 upswing off the head and shoulders, and likely FOMO will take it higher. Oh, my channel has been very, very shadow banned. But I advise people to watch these videos, you know, like half an hour after they go live, so you can watch it on like 2x speed. I always watch everything on 2x speed. I don't watch anything live. I had to bear through Powell's speech live yesterday. That was agonizing. The guy looked like he wanted to die. Again, these are the kinds of statements that get my channel shadow banned. Can you explain why Balaji wants to take this 1 million bet? Because he's becoming very popular. Everyone forgotten who Balaji was, and now everyone remembers Balaji again. Like, sometimes it's worth it to pay $1 million or $2 million if you have it to spare, to double your, I guess, your popularity on Twitter. You probably picked up, I don't know, 100,000 subs or something. Like, I don't know. The only reason to make this bet is to get yourself talked about for a few months. Like, all publicity is good publicity, right? So he just paid $1 million or $2 million because for some dumb reason he made 2 bets. He just paid $2 million for advertising. Clearly he has money to spare. I'll take $1 million. I don't mind. All right, Financial Summit coming to the UAE. It's an event for financial professionals from all around the world. Really, really awesome event. Like, if you find anyone that was there, they'll tell you how amazing it was. The tequila list. Yes, I promise I will do it next month. Like, I just want to correct a bunch of spelling errors. I want to reorder it. I've been tasting the tequilas off that list. Yeah, I do need to post it. Unconfiscatable is a Bitcoin event out in Vegas with a poker tournament and everything. Follow both of these events on social media. We're going to post a few more promo videos from the last Financial Summit. That's probably going to come out in a week or two. So please subscribe. So we really want 1,000 subscribers, guys. I should have did this when I had like 700 viewers the other day. Please subscribe to the Financial Summit YouTube channel. We rarely post there. It's basically just promo videos and testimonial videos. But we really need 1,000 subscribers because then we can try to block the ads. I don't want to show ads on these videos, but YouTube forces ads upon us. We do need 1,000 subs, and we need like 1,000, I think 4,000 hours watched. The 4,000 hours watched is going to be a little bit tough. We're going to post some analysis videos and some educational videos here that would hopefully get us to 4,000 hours watched. And then we can remove all ads from this channel because I don't want to bombard people with ads. Okay, daily chart we already discussed. Hourly chart. This 4-hour chart, sorry. The 4-hour chart came down to a very good moving average, and we bounced right off of it. We had a horrendous 4 hours, and it's very likely that this is over. The only way you know that it's not over is if it comes back and breaks this low. I always said in yesterday's video, and last 2 or 3 videos actually, that the strongest support that Bitcoin has right now is the $26,000 range. I know the 25,000 is also very strong support from a higher level time frame perspective, and that's where the longer term moving average is. It's actually at 24, and that's where the MRI support line is. But I like this 26 support, and you have a moving average here. It's unfortunate that all this support is not at one level. So you have 4 areas of support, 2 of them at 24, nothing really at 25, and you have support at 26, and now you have support at 27. So they're all broken up, so they're not very, very strong. However, let's see what today brings. I am liking this 10 a.m. reversal to the upside here. We're going to maybe take a look at it, though I do like to join spaces, as you guys know. GBTC discount is not yet rising. I need some kind of a Twitter thread really explaining why we have this GBTC discount. I had all these tabs, all this research on it, and I just never got around to it, and I closed all the tabs. So I don't know if I want to do all that work all over again. I explained it in a video, but I never really did a proper Twitter thread. Oil is rising. I've switched to the oil daily chart because I totally spaced on this daily MRI buy until it was pointed out to me like 2 or 3 days later after it. So the MRI buy on the daily inside a monthly MRI buy perfectly called the low in oil. I kept talking about how this month is going to be the low in oil, but then as this month was happening, I totally forgot because I just got too bogged down on the weekly chart, and this red star candle on this weekly chart really scared me. And for some reason, I totally spaced on the monthly being a bottom on this month, and I totally was not paying attention to the daily calling the bottom perfectly. These are my 3 favorite time frames: monthly, weekly, and daily. Yes, in a perfect world, all 3 MRIs would line up. But if 2 of the MRIs are lining up and the 3rd one is not, obviously you go with the 2, unless the 2 MRIs lining up are the daily and the weekly, and the MRI on a monthly is telling you a completely different thing, because the higher the time scale, the more critical. So I would say the monthly time scale is probably the monthly time scale. I would give that like a 55% weighing or even a 60% weighing. The weekly time scale would be like a 30-40% weighing, and the daily time scale is like a 10 to 20% weight. So daily plus weekly is about as strong as a monthly. Or we can go, monthly is 50%, and then weekly, daily, one is 30, one is 20, or one is 35, one's 15, something like that. That would be my weighing on. I mean, I don't have numbers to this. It's just my experience of trading this indicator or its predecessors for close to 15 years now. This was one of the last things I learned in TA. I learned it from attending a Bloomberg workshop, actually. So when you have the daily and the monthly lining up, it's way stronger than the weekly. But if you have the daily and the weekly lining up, it's about equally as strong as the monthly. So if the monthly is telling you the complete opposite, I would be careful. But in this case, only the weekly was telling you the complete opposite. So it wasn't a bad signal. And now we're sitting at an area of resistance, and let's see if it can break it. Though, if the monthly helps a lot, but I would be careful here. I would not rush into a bullish trade here. Either I would go long off of this hammer, or I would wait for this to break. Or I would wait for the weekly to give me a green star candle, which will only take place in about 2 weeks. So you have to wait till at least into like mid-April. Maybe even longer. Okay, that was way longer than oil. This looks bad for natural gas. Looks like a lot of natural gas is being produced. The United States is a big producer of natural gas. Gold candle is looking good. Gold candle is looking really good. Now, gold, just like Bitcoin, should be rising at a time of uncertainty and at a time of banking fear. Now, if the banking system begins to crash and the world begins to unravel, gold may or may not be good, but it's good when people have the time to think, process, and are scared. Gold is perfect, and so is Bitcoin. But if high inflation is happening, gold may not be the best asset. The S&P 500 is struggling to break this triple support/resistance. I can make the argument this is resistance. I can also make the argument this is support. It's just stuck right at it. And I am waiting for a monster breakout. I don't know what's going to cause it. I don't know, maybe a collapse of government bonds and trillions of dollars flowing into the stock market. This is our 10-minute chart. Let's talk about yesterday. Yesterday's 10-minute chart, before I got off stream, yesterday afternoon after Powell's speech, I was pretty optimistic and pretty bullish off of this reversal candle on the 10-minute chart. And I really expected this to be the low of yesterday. Clearly, in hindsight, I was wrong. We did dip lower right into a 10-minute MRI buy. Now, on a 10-minute scale, I do pay attention to the MRI buys a little bit. I don't pay attention to the 1-minute version, and I don't pay attention to the 10-minute MRI, within the first few hours of market open. Or let's say within the first hour of market open. But after that, in the afternoons, I do find them a little more useful because the opening does not, the opening alters a lot. There's also gaps and stuff like that. And this is Bitcoin. I don't know about the real market. So the real market, here it is, the real market on a 10-minute chart. And it also had an MRI sell in the afternoon and an MRI buy in the afternoon as well. So the afternoon MRI buys and sells on a 10-minute scale, I do pay attention to those. Not as much as daily, weekly, monthly, but a little bit. On Bitcoin as well. So I was wrong by about a half an hour. The bottom did come. If you use my line right here of the low that I thought was going to be the low, you can see how we used it as resistance multiple times until it eventually broke this morning. And now we're treating it as support. And here is another 10-minute MRI buy. Now, this one is happening too close to market open. So I would pay less attention to this one than if it was happening in the afternoon. The stock market started rising at 9 a.m., at 9:10. So the 10 a.m. reversal would actually be to the downside, which is unfortunate, completely unfortunate. I really was hoping we would fall into 10 a.m., not rise into 10 a.m. The market, let's go to a 5-minute chart. I like this 10-minute candle though. It's not a great candle, but I like the fact that it has an MRI buy. And the MRIs have been pretty good on a Bitcoin 10-minute now that I'm looking at it for the last 48 hours. Let's make this a 5-minute chart as well. We have a 5-minute rise here at the 10 a.m. candle. So no short trade yet. Let me see how much we went up since market open. I want to see at least a 10-point move. That was a 20-point move. That's great. That does set us up for a 10 a.m. reversal. But today's a tricky day. I really did not think that the market would fall this much yesterday. And I think today we're going to recover. So I'm not eager once again to jump into a 10-minute down move. Also, don't forget the day after the FOMC announcement is also usually a positive day. These are the 3 most positive days in the entire stock market, with data going back to 1994. Though every time I talk about it, it seems to be a bad day, which is weird. Let's see what happens. I would only think of this as bearish if we go below current candle. I would want to go below the body of here. I mean, it's rare. I just don't like the big wick on the prior 5-minute candle, which is also the wick on the prior 10-minute candle. So this would be the line where I would consider entering my 10 a.m. reversal trade. Ideally on the next candle, not current one. All right, moderators, any good questions? Thank you for moderating. I see Gary. I see it's hard. I thought I saw a motorist here. Mel. Eric Tan, thanks for watching, brother. Marvin Smith, that name sounds familiar. So is Yellow Vest. All right, so it looks like it would be next candle if it happens. If it is next candle and this is a shooting star candle, even though it's only a 5-minute candle, I would consider raising it. Oh, there it is on current candle. No, it didn't hit it yet, but interesting. 23 seconds to go. That is a big shooting star candle. Man, I really want the market to rise, but that's a beautiful, beautiful reversal candle on a 5-minute chart. Yep. So if we cross below that candle, a short trade activates on the S&P. We're almost there. Super close. I don't want it to activate. I'm not really a day trader of the S&P anymore, and I care about Bitcoin rising. So I have my personal motivation for this not to happen. But if this was 7 years ago when I was literally trading this every day, this would be my short trade the moment this line is breached, if it happens in the next 15 minutes. Otherwise, there is no trade. And I don't want it to happen, by the way. Yeah, you can listen to the Swan Space recording on 2x too. What's the logic reasoning behind the 10 a.m. reversal? Well, mostly immature traders trade up here, and then the professionals make them look like fools by reversing everything they thought they knew about the markets. Yeah, I do want to take a look at Tilray, actually. All right, we'll leave this here. I'll try to remember to come back to it. Now, the rules are this has to take place either on this. Since this is 5-minute candles, either it has to happen on this candle or the following 2 candles. If it happens after that, it doesn't work. I would take it off the table. And if it happens, the stop loss is above the high of the day. That would be the stop loss, because I'm going to go away from this chart and maybe come back to it. Now, if this candle makes a new high, the trade's done. The trade goes off the table. So this has to remain the high. So this trade only activates on current candle, next 2 candles, if these candles do not make a new high. If the candles make a new high, then the trade has to be completely reconsidered, or maybe wait till 11 a.m. or maybe 10:30 and try it again off of a candle somewhere if it makes a significantly higher, top. But so far, the trade's still possible. Okay, now I want to take a look at the probability of the next rate hike. You can see that right now there's a 60% chance Powell does not raise rates, which I actually agree with. Powell should not raise rates next meeting. My view can change, but I think he should slow his roll and only raise rates every other meeting, but raise them for the rest of the year, but every other meeting, instead of raising them every meeting and then reversing his position later in the year, which I think is dumb. So I think he should not raise rates in May, but raise them in June, not raise them in July, raise them in September. That's what I think he should do. And then don't do nothing in November and December and let the year play out. get that rate to 5.5 by year end, and leave it there for a little while. Okay, Tilray. What is this? This is the US dollar. I am still bullish on the US dollar. So let's see how that trade works out for me. Yeah, this is man, this is, I'm bullish on the US dollar from a fundamental perspective, but the TA is not very bullish. The TA is not bullish. We went through the history of currencies last time. Let's go to the US stock market. I don't want to go through all these stocks. Oh, there's Tilray. God, it looks like a shit coin. It's the weekly Tilray chart. Looks very ugly. And earnings is coming. I find it hard to believe that earnings is going to take this thing down further, but I would still never hold this through earnings unless I have an option strategy all planned. If I was an options trader, it will probably be too late to enter the options trade for earnings. I probably would have done it sometime over here in early February, maybe mid-February, in preparation for April's earnings. What day is it actually? On the 5th of April. Too close. The implied volatility would be too high. So the weekly chart is not very useful. It is going to come up on an MRI buy, but it's going to be in consolidation, and this consolidation is bearish. However, there's only so far down that it can go. The monthly chart on Tilray does not look good. I would have been bullish on Tilray last October, big time, and I would have expected it to go way higher, but it did not. So the monthly chart on Tilray does not look good either. Should we dare go daily? The daily chart on Tilray gave you a beautiful MRI buy opportunity right here off of this reversal candle at the low. So that was great. And the daily chart still looks very, very bullish, even though the count has flipped. But you can get a green star candle tomorrow, even though I hate entering on Fridays, as you guys know. The daily chart looks bullish. That was a deep dive into it. Let's look at, by the way, Trump did not get arrested. I stated so several days ago in one of the spaces, and everyone made fun of me that Trump was going to get arrested. Tone, you're an idiot. You don't know anything. The charges are filed. He's definitely getting arrested on Tuesday. And I said, I don't care that charges are filed. He's not going to get arrested. That was my view. And on Monday night, I thought I was totally wrong when the cops were putting up barricades, getting ready for protesters. I wasn't going to go. I already dodged a, let me not say the B word here. I already dodged something by going to the last protest supporting Trump. So let me avoid this one. Let me not push it a little too much. And yeah, I didn't think he would get arrested. Like I said so. I don't know if I said it on this channel. I know I've said it in spaces. Mario was doing those spaces on Trump. And I'm like, he's not getting arrested. It's crazy. Like the Capitol might actually burn down next time if Trump actually gets arrested. Like it is stupidity. So Trump's company is still doing terrible, but the daily MRI worked out. If you took the trade, made a good percentage. Robinhood, one of my most hated companies. It's Robinhood or fake meat. Where's fake meat? Beyond. They both look like shit coins. Wow. MRI buy. For ethical reasons, I would not buy this company. Even off this MRI, but I wouldn't short Coinbase. I wouldn't use Coinbase, but I wouldn't short Coinbase. I'm not sure what this company was, but they no longer exist. How's AMC doing? The meme stocks. Oh, at least that's over. At least that stupidity's over. What about GameStop? I don't know if I have it. Is the cruise ship industry coming back? Not really. Nope. No, are they still making people wear masks and like distancing themselves on the rooftop of a cruise ship? Oh, there's GameStop. Oh, this thing is still alive. Man. Oh, wow. Look at that beautiful MRI sell on a monthly. Oh, there's an MRI buy on a monthly as well. Nothing good as on a weekly. All right. I don't really have much else other than, oh, I do have something. So I'm going to keep politics to a minimum, but close your ears if you don't want to hear something. So the other day when I said that depleted uranium shells are nuclear weapons and people objected to that, I have a link to a documentary about depleted uranium. I believe the US used depleted uranium for the first time to test out their new toy of killing in Yugoslavia. That was back in the 90s. And that was their test ground for the depleted uranium shells. And then they used it again in Iraq. So here's a documentary. Yugoslavia broke up into like 5 countries now. You have Croatia, you have Slovenia, you have Serbia, you have Macedonia, and Montenegro now. Montenegro wasn't there originally. So guys, I am pretty well informed on geopolitics. And just read the description. Like, I can't read it. I don't want this YouTube video to be banned. So I have this linked in the video description. If you don't believe that these are nuclear weapons, you're wrong. They are. They may not be weapons of mass destruction, like what was dropped in Japan, or the new ones that are 10 times, 10 to 100 times bigger. But these things do emit radiation, they do destroy the soil, and they do create ridiculous birth effects down the line. So these weapons are incredibly dangerous, and they should not be used. And the US used them twice already, and the UK just gave them to the Ukrainians. The Russians aren't using these, but this was just given to the Ukrainians. And yes, I consider these to be the use of nuclear weapons. And stop listening to mainstream media propaganda. Go watch these older documentaries. This is a German documentary. They're even speaking in English. They are dubbing it over into German, and then they're giving you English subtitles, which is really frustrating. Like, I just want to hear what the guy has to say in English. But unfortunately, that's not how it was filmed. Only 16,000 people have watched this, and it was published in 2014. Okay, so go and watch it. The link is in the video description if you really want to know. And this was one of my favorite videos from 2020 or 2021. I don't remember when it came out. Mass psychosis. Incredible video. After school, I think it was originally published on Academy of Ideas. But Chart School made it look cool with the animation. So that's another awesome video. So check that out. And if you're not familiar with what happened in Yugoslavia and what is still going on in Serbia, there's a really awesome documentary that just started. I have not seen this yet. I am going to try and watch. I got to get to one of these cities. I mean, it's hard to travel to watch a documentary, really. But yeah, if you want to know what is currently happening in Yugoslavia and how everything went down, like here is Yugoslavia in 1946, basically, since 1946. And then here it is in 92 when it broke up into Slovenia, Croatia, Bosnia, Serbia. Then eventually Montenegro broke off. You have Macedonia, North Macedonia, Macedonia. And now Kosovo is anyway, just the Serbia-Kosovo situation is really, really bad. No one talks about it. This is like the only documentary that gives a hint of the Serbian point of view, because everybody hates Serbia. Europe, the United States, they hate Serbia. Absolutely hate them. Serbia is like Russia to them. And the reason they hate Serbia is because Serbia doesn't want to do what Europe tells them to do. Serbia doesn't bow down to the European leaders. They don't bow down to the American leaders. And Serbia is very, very hated. And the propaganda against Serbia is almost as bad as the propaganda against Russia. All because they don't want to, bow down to the European and Western leaders. Anyway, it's a documentary I want to go watch. You can see the trailer, and this documentary is being banned everywhere because they try to give as neutral of a view between Serbia and Kosovo as possible, and that is wrong. You can't have that. Just like you can't be neutral on Russia-Ukraine. You are either pro-Ukraine or you are the worst human being on the face of the planet. And the same exact thing with Serbia. Either you are anti-Serbia or you are the worst human being on the face of the planet. So I've never been to Serbia. I've never been to Croatia. I actually really want to go to both countries. I have not been there. I shouldn't talk too much because I haven't been there. See, I've been to Russia. I've been to Ukraine many, many times. So I'm way more open in talking about those countries. But I have not been to this region at all. I have never been to any of the countries that were formerly Yugoslavia. And now that 30 years have gone by, the depleted uranium that was used by the United States and NATO bombing the shit out of Yugoslavia, something that was completely illegal on all fronts. Maybe now that radiation has finally subsided. I mean, people do live there, but yeah, it was bad. Yeah, Novak Djokovic is actually my favorite athlete. I was never a big fan of him earlier, but ever since what happened with the vaccines, Djokovic is like in my top 5 favorite athletes of all time. Novak Djokovic. Yeah, like I said, I need to brush up on my own knowledge of Yugoslavia a little more, but it's so hard because you have to watch these older documentaries from the time that they took place from both sides, because history is getting erased. And like I said, everybody hates Serbia. Everyone let's just say the propaganda against Serbia is a lot stronger than the propaganda against everybody else in this region. Oh, there it is. No, the trade got okay. So here's what I mean, right? Interesting. So very interesting. So you know how I said this would be my entry line unless we make a new high? We did make a new high. This was the 10-15 candle, and this candle was a beautiful reversal candle, even a better reversal candle than this candle. And now the trade activation for the 10 a.m. reversal, even though it is happening 15 minutes late, but it could potentially happen right as you break the low of that candle. And your stop loss now becomes the top of that candle. Now, the question is, would I have taken this trade? And the answer is I probably would have, because, and right now it's a break-even trade, so it's not really hindsight, right? In fact, right now it's a worse trade than it was in real time. So because from 9:30 a.m., oh, come on. From 9:30 a.m., the move to the upside would now be 30 points. And that is a monster move. That is so hard to maintain, a 30-point move to the upside, that it needs to pull back. And it is happening close enough to 10 a.m. So this would be a potential trade. And the risk on that trade would be the breakout to a brand new high. And the risk on that trade is 5 points, which is a little bit more than I like. I like keeping it to under 4. But let's see how it plays out. And also, if I start profiting the amount that I was losing, if I start profiting the amount that I was potentially set to lose, I immediately set a break-even stop loss so that the trade doesn't lose me any money. That's how I used to trade the 10 a.m. reversals. So remember, you can always lower that stop loss at any time you don't like the trade anymore. In fact, if the next 5-minute candle, I don't know how long I'll be streaming with you guys, it's already been an hour. If next candle puts me back in the green, I would immediately lower the stop loss to the top of current candle. But like I said, today I was expecting a pretty bullish day to make up for yesterday's horrendous day. And it looks like this stop loss is about to get hit anyway. And it just did. So that is a new swing high. So my trade would be exiting. And I gave it a swing. And now I would probably not trade the rest of the day. That was the attempt to trade a 10 a.m. reversal. It's always possible that I get stopped out and then the market crashes. But I'm very, very happy that the market goes up today, even though Bitcoin is not following through, which is weird. But these are the kinds of candles I wanted to see at 10 a.m. Ideally, I want to see it drop. I was always more comfortable going long than going short because the stock market has a bullish bias. So I always wanted to see it drop in the morning and then reverse at 10 a.m. to the upside instead of the other way around. The other way around was always a lot more scary because markets rise. They always rise, except, a year every like 5 to 6 years where it has a bad year. No, I never use this strategy in conjunction with other stuff. If this thing reverses and goes down now, then it depends on where above the prior high did you set your stop loss. Because then it's possible you did not get stopped out. I probably would have. But it depends how much cushion you give. I'll just wait for next candle, then we're going to end the video. That's a beautiful, that's even better reversal candle than that one, but it's happening in consolidation, so it's not as useful as the original one was. And it's really unfortunate that it like went above the prior swing high by like 50 cents. But we've already gone up 30 points on the S&P. It's very hard to maintain that kind of upswing for the rest of the day. People take profit. Less people want to buy in. If it consolidates for like a few hours, then sure, I can see another leg up. But right now, clearly it wants to go down. It's just unfortunate that it slightly made a new high. Is Square now block? Is the ticker still SQ though? Yeah. Square is holding Bitcoin, right? So it should be rising when Bitcoin's rising. I mean, are they not working? Like, what are they doing? Beautiful MRI buy on a weekly. Square doesn't look very good. The chart looks bad. MRI top here on a monthly. MRI buy here, but you're already lower than that. So Square looks bad. Just looks bad. Bad looking chart. Crashed today. What happened? Blocks stock tumbles after short sellers issue report. Okay. The chart looks bad. Good candle. It's holding MRI support, but I wouldn't touch it right now. It's accused of fraud. Yeah, if you're in the Bitcoin space, you can get accused of everything. All right, guys, that's it for me. Sneak peek at that short trade of the 10 a.m. reversal. See, 1025, 1030 is pushing it a bit. I mean, anywhere between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. is good. Ideally closer to the round number, 10, 1030, 11. So maybe I should have stayed a little patient, but you can't stay patient because you have a reversal candle followed by confirmation trading below the reversal candle. The exact same thing happened in the following two candles. So, you can't expect the following two candles. So if your stop loss was a little bit looser, you're still in the short trade and you're now profitable. And the moment this candle goes below the new, making a new swing low, you set that stop loss to break even. You can try taking the trade again for the second time. I'd be a little nervous taking it for the second time, but it's the same exact idea, same exact trade. You can at least make up for your losses and come out of the day break even, which is better than taking a loss. Now your risk is going to be closer to 6 points. maybe even 7. 6.5. All right, guys, thank you all for watching. And I will see you all on the next one. Check out the events. And if you're interested in learning how to trade the way I learned how to trade, and now sell that knowledge at like 90 to 95% the discount of how much it cost me back in dollars of 20 years ago, then check out tomvays.com. The indicator is right here, and the on-demand videos are here, and the free learn trading section is here. Bye, guys. I'll leave this for tomorrow. I'll make it a 10-minute candle, so I'll see it. And here we're going to go same thing, 10 minutes. Unless something crazy happens, I don't plan to stream later today. Bye, guys.